So, welcome back, everybody, yet to another episode of the Energize with Bram podcast. Now, obviously, it's not just me. I always bring interesting guests to the table. And joining me today is Reza Qorbanie. Is that how I pronounce it, Reza?
Kobani is good. Kobani.
Qorbanie. Let's go with that. It's almost like Chobani, right? Qorbanie,
It is.
Chobani. So, Qorbanie is your name. And you used to be in Adelaide, but since, let's say, well, a little while back, you moved to another place. Tell us where you live now and where you are now today.
Yeah, Bram. Bram, firstly, thank you very much for having me here. It's really special to talk with you and to talk about some ideas that I have as well to you and your audience, and to also have this out there. I think it's good for us to make content. So I appreciate you, Bram, for making this. So yeah, Bram. So I was born in the Middle East. I was born in Iran, and I moved to Australia at the age of one. And I lived in Australia from the year 2000 until 2023.
Mhm.
So in the end of March 2023, I moved to Dubai. So right now it's been about 18 months. So I went from Adelaide to Dubai in the UAE. So that's the United Arab Emirates in the Middle East. As you asked, I'm now currently in Malaysia. I'm down near the south of Malaysia for a few months, and this place is great. I think this place is very nice. Yeah.
Beautiful. And just to for everybody to understand, it's not that you went with your family, with your mom and dad. You basically ventured off on your own, funded your own whole endeavor because, really important, you've been a self-made multimillionaire.
Yes, you could say that. I I'm not that rich, but what you said is not false either.
Hmm.
Uh, yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Well, the good news is that you're basically moved to Dubai, and obviously Dubai is not a place where you're just gonna, go in a little crappy environment. There's a lot of heavy hitters there. There's a lot of migrants there that seek also tax benefits and the like. So tell us a little bit more. What prompted you to basically swap Australia or down under, the West, so to speak, for a place like Dubai?
Yeah, Bram, cheers, mate. So firstly, as you know, we were you're based in Adelaide, I was based there too. And Adelaide's a great place actually. I really like Adelaide. It's not too big, not too small, and I think we got very lucky being based there. It's also very affordable compared to the East Coast. But Bram, I was 23. I was doing quite well in my business, and I didn't know anyone else in the entire state who was doing what I was doing. I didn't even know anyone who was close to that or had the same kind of mindset. And I would often have to pull up those around me, which I'm happy doing. But eventually, like you need your own peers, and I didn't really have any real peers in Adelaide. And Adelaide's far away from the world. We're in South Australia, so that's like two major flights to Europe, a few major flights to the US. The time zones are really back to front. I felt internally as if it was like a sign from God that Dubai was my next step to becoming global, having a reach around the world. And also, Bram, like in Dubai, it's one flight to Europe, one flight to Asia. You can now do one flight to Adelaide. You're in the best place. You're near investors, you're near smart people. Like for a young person who's making his own money online, and like I don't have to be in Australia, I can be anywhere. Logically, when you weigh it up and you make a rational choice, you go, is it actually helping me living in Australia? And
Hmm.
for me, the answer was no. It's actually too many things I need to worry about in Australia. Whereas if I go in the UAE, it's like it's the ease of doing business is actually very good. I'm near people. I'm near my smart people. So long story short, like I think if you have the ability to make money online and you're making enough to afford to live well, then you should look at, right, I'm a human being on this earth. Which place is actually best for what I want to do next? And for me, that was Dubai. And to get a residency there is very easy. It takes like 2 weeks and you can live there. So that's also why I can't really live in Singapore very easily. You can't really go to Japan very easily, but Dubai is easy.
Yeah, great. I heard also there's convenience of getting things delivered, taking care of your washing and your dry cleaning and all of that. Food is easily delivered to you. It doesn't cost much, low crime rates. All of that was kind of part of the package, right?
Yeah, bro, exactly. As we also mentioned prior to the call being started, in Dubai, bro, like I can get my clothes washed and cleaned and sent to my house for very cheap. I have a lady who comes into my house each week to make my house, to vacuum it and make it clean. Bro, it costs me 35 Australian dollars per week. You can't find that in Australia. There's no crime. I can walk around at nighttime and I don't have to look over my back. In Australia, I do need to.
Yeah.
Some areas, like in the city, and some places, like you need to watch out. No crime, no violent crime in Dubai. There is crime with money, like
Mm,
maybe money laundering and stuff, but they've also gotten more or strict on that. But yeah,
mm,
no violent crime. Everything's convenient. If I'm hungry, I can get a meal sent to my house for like $18 Australian with postage in that. You can't do it in Australia, and the rent prices are actually cheaper in Dubai than Australia, up to a certain point. It varies a lot, but Dubai is actually cheaper than Australia. So I'm spending less money to live a better life around other people in the world who are doing big things. So it's a rush. And of course, let's not forget the tax benefits are a real thing too.
mm.
Um, and you need to ask yourself, like, if you are successful and you don't need to be in Australia and it's already expensive as hell living there, and you have to support your family, your team, and so on, and you're trying to do bigger things in life,
Yeah.
then it's actually like you need to weigh it up, right? Make a rational choice. And Australia was just no longer a rational choice for me. And Bram, I don't have any plans on actually returning to Australia.
Ah, I get it. I appreciate that, Reza. And look, one thing that I noticed is like, even though there's all the convenience about the money side of things, the main thing that I heard you say was really to surround yourselves with peers that could lift you again. You felt like almost like you were the biggest fish in the pond, and
I
you had to
was,
get
I
out
was.
into a
Yeah.
bigger pond so that you could learn again and grow from there.
Exactly. And I actually was the biggest fish in the pond in Adelaide based on, my age group. I really didn't, in terms of business, right? I'm not the biggest fish in like everything, right? But in terms of business and that stuff, I was ahead of basically everyone I knew my age, even older people. But in Dubai, like last month, I saw my friend who runs this YouTube channel with 24 million subscribers, and he's making nearly 400,000 Australian dollars a month profit.
Just from
Not
ads.
that much. Yep. So he makes me feel poor, and I'm like, shit, I'm doing bad. So Dubai is great because you meet people that you don't meet in like Adelaide. Even on the east coast of Australia, like I don't want to pay 1.5K a week in rent for a crappy apartment in Sydney. I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
So
It reminds me
yeah,
actually, Reza, of one of the posts that I saw on your socials that said, hey, as soon as you make X amount of dollars, sincerely consider how you can make the money you make in the home you're in, let's say the Western country you live in, and move overseas where it's lower cost so that you
yeah,
actually have a lot more bang
exactly.
for buck.
100%. Like, bro, I was in Malaysia. I'm there now, but early this year, I was in Malaysia for 2 months in Kuala Lumpur, and it's a great place. And I was spending like 1.5K, 2K a month on rent in the CBD in a nice place, nice view. And in Malaysia, their tax system is a territorial. So it means if you're based in Malaysia and your customers are outside of Malaysia, you pay no tax. So you're spending less money on survival. It's a safe country near Hong Kong, near China, near Japan, near Australia, near Europe. You're basically tax free. So you're spending less on survival. You pay no tax. It's cheap, safe,
Food is great too, by the way.
amazing. It's like, why would you want to pay more money on a crappy house, high interest rates? Why do you want to pay a percentage of your superannuation to the government for tax after you hit a threshold? It's like,
I think it's just important that people understand a little bit how you made your money. So you've been an online entrepreneur. So tell us a little bit more like how you started and where you are today.
Yeah, sure,
By
Brian.
the way, you're in your 20s, right?
24 years old, correct. At the age of 15, I left high school. At the end of year 10, I had to actually pass year 10 to leave high school. And I think I passed with a whisker. Like, I didn't attend school for a bit. I had a leg injury. I didn't attend school for like 2 months. And I had to pass to leave. And I wanted to leave school because I wanted to work and make money. I didn't want to do school. It wasn't really fun for me. So I left school at the end of year 10 at the age of 15. I left school, but I didn't leave education. So I did marketing courses that we've spoken about. I learned about human psychology, copywriting. I learned about how do you actually get a person to buy something? Because if you think about it, a young kid who's wanting to make money, if we look at things from a first principle standpoint, okay, you're broke, you're young, and you're motivated, and you want to make money. I wanted to do like a cafe, a restaurant, these things, but then eventually I realized they might not be the best. And then I thought, all right, well, how do you make money in a business? You get customers. How do you get customers? Through marketing. So I was like, all right, that's what I'll do. So I watched these courses, and slowly, I started to help my mom's friends with their businesses for free to gain the experience to practice what I learned. And by the age of 16 or 17, I was doing that stuff for free at the age of 16. And then by the time I was 17, I started to get paying clients. So about 18 months after I left high school as a dropout, I started to make around $11,000 a month recurring
Good
for
money.
my agency.
Mm.
It was amazing. I was only 17 then. I was able to travel the world. I was able to live well, spend money on things and not worry. So I ran a marketing agency for about from the ages of like 16 to probably 20. And then at the age of 20, when COVID happened, a lot of my business revenue was lost by COVID. So my older brother and I teamed up and started an e-commerce store called Pegs for Life, where we sold stainless steel laundry pegs. That store did about $1.1 million in the first year, which back then was impressive. Nowadays, it's not as impressive because you can do much more faster. But back then, it was good. And from that, a lot of my friends were asking me, Reza, please teach us, show us how you do it, because I would share about it online to be like, guys, like, look at what's happening. This is crazy. I teach my friends; they start to make a lot of money. And then before I knew it, I had many people asking me to teach them. And I used to host events at my apartment. And you can't teach 100 people at once, one thing. So that turned into a course which is more scalable. And from 4 years since, we have 7,500 members in the course. We have a team of around 16 people, and we have a 4.9 star rating online. And our members have made, I would say now, close to $200 million in sales. So we've contributed tens of millions of GST revenue to the Australian government, millions in income taxes from our members, and we've done a very good job. So that's kind of how it happened. It happened really like marketing, ecom, and then the education. And yeah, that's it's my 9 year journey. 9 year journey.
I love it. Wow. So impressive, man. Well done. So agency to e-commerce to education. Is that business still going? Is it the education or what's
Yeah,
happening with this now?
yeah, it's active now. We are about to make a new course soon, actually. So the education is called Six Figure Drop Shipper.
Mhm.
So we'll actually show you how to make six figures through drop shipping. Now we've helped a few people actually make over $1 million, $10 million. One of our members has made around $80 million.
How do you
Uh,
track that, Ressa?
you can see their sales. They'll share it with you. They'll show you. So it's pretty crazy what's been happening. But we're about to launch a new training called Seven Figure Dropshipper. So we'll actually show you how to make your store go to the millions per year. Ecom has actually been probably the best business model. Now, everything has its pros and cons. But if you want to make money fast, e-commerce is probably the best way to do it, as long as you have the right kind of methods, because it can scale very fast. The only drawback is you need money up front, not much, but like you need to spend money on the ads. But if you're doing things the right way, you can actually make your money back and scale much harder. The issue with an agency is that it takes more time to make money, and you need to be good at marketing, because if you're crap at marketing and you outsource it, most of the time the person you outsource to isn't very good at marketing. And then that leaves a bad name for you. But the pro with a marketing agency is that once you get good and you have clients and you have a way of getting clients, you can make a lot of money. But then you have the issue of we're dealing with clients who are your boss. So everything has pros and cons. And I did both, and I think both were great, and I learned a lot from both. And but if I had to make cash fast, knowing what I know now, I would do it through e-commerce,
Yeah.
assuming you know what you're doing.
Yeah, absolutely. I remember when we bumped into each other after many years in the gym, and we were just sitting there sweating in the sauna, and you said, "Hey, I'm doing like," and he said a number to me, and I almost fell off my chair. And I thought, "What are you doing the month?" And you're like, "Yeah, tell me." Like, for people that really don't understand this digital marketing yet, I've like you, I've done a lot of courses. I've studied with many great people that are doing multi-millions and whatever online. But for people that don't understand, like sometimes people are so trained and indoctrinated at thinking that 5% return when you have a rental property is a good yield. When you get, let's say, 10% return on your superannuation, your self-managed super fund, that's a good return. In digital advertising, or sorry, digital marketing, like 10% is nothing. So Reza, but I've got several people that are in the coaching space. So whether a business coach, life coach, or other sorts of coaches, money coaches and the likes. But people that are like that and looking for to deploy digital advertising and marketing to actually scale up, how would they go about it, knowing what you know?
Yeah. So, Bram, the thing that changed my life, and it's very easy to say, "Wow, this thing changed my life." Like everyone can say it, and most times you hear it, you go, "Yeah, yeah, okay." But what made me actually make money in the bank that you can invest and keep and grow over time is mastering marketing, more exactly paid advertising, or just as a whole advertising. So, Bram, think of it like this, right? Um, I've seen on Facebook ads, there's an accountant in Australia who runs ads for e-commerce accounting, right? He's targeting e-commerce owners who need their accounting done. And I believe, now I haven't spoken to him, but from what I think that would do pretty well to at least book appointments with possible clients. So, Bram, like I'll give you an analogy of my experience, right? So me and you, Bram, were in BNI. I think you might be there still. I was there for about 1.5 years.
Mhm.
Uh, and when I was, Bram, in BNI with my marketing agency, I didn't have a true abundance of leads. I would rely on word of mouth, referrals, and no one really referred me in BNI very much. I got one client from there, another referral with a bad lead. Like I didn't really have a lot of volume myself. Maybe I was too young and no one really wanted to refer to me. Um, but I remember, Bram, with my marketing agency, I was fully reliant on God to supply me. And thankfully, God did supply me. I never made under 10, 15K a month from age 17 to 20, except when COVID happened.
Mhm.
Uh, but that was because I didn't want to charge my health clients in that period. As soon as it was over, I bounced back. But so the mindset shift is going from praying marketing or hope marketing, where you hope to get a referral. And even, Bram, when you do a very good job for a client, from what I've seen, you may not get a referral still. They may
Yep.
not tell anyone,
Yep. True.
which sucks, right? And what I learned in 2020, and Bram, here's the thing, right? Like, the story about how a plumber, his pipes are always like running, always like leaking, or an
Yep.
accountant books are always crap.
Yep.
Well, I was a marketer and I did marketing for my clients and I made them a lot of money, but I never thought to do it for myself. I tried it briefly, didn't really work, and I thought, yeah, it's not very good. But Bram, once I started to do my own marketing, paid marketing, and I found a thing that worked, that's when my income went from like this to like that. So the message is whether you have like you do like an e-com store and you sell like dog beds or whatever, or say your clients do business coaching or they're like a mindset coach or like a life coach, right? Anything you sell, what you actually want to do first before you start a business, most of the time, if it's a money-making business, right? Like say you're trying to solve cancer, or let's say I'm in Malaysia at this business kind of thing, and the founder of this, his first business was like a biotech business, which helped parents see if their baby would have any defects. So it was like a biotech kind of thing, right? Genomics.
Hmm.
Now you can kind of tell that business or that thing you make to tell if your baby will be healthy or not before it gets born. That's a useful thing.
Hmm.
People want that, right? When you start most businesses now, for the purpose of making money, you have to get the marketing right first before you go all in. That's what I think. That's why with drop shipping, we don't marry a niche or a product. We test hundreds over the span of our career, thousands, to find a few that will work. And then once it works, then we invest time into it. So the mindset with like life coaching, for example, is, and I think you can make money with anything, but some verticals make more than others. But say you do like, let's say life coaching, you want to work out how do you actually get customers with this predictably without relying on word of mouth. And I think the best ways with most verticals or businesses is Facebook ads, YouTube ads, and organic content, which we can talk about like if you want to.
Yep. Glad to. So which channels of those have you used really well, and what were your experiences with that?
I've used most of them. I've used TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, SEO. So with SEO, it's really dependent on how many people are actually searching for what you sell and how repetitive it is to rank. Because if you're trying to rank against like
Like
Coca-Cola,
Plumbers is very competitive.
plumbers, yeah, very hard, right? Then you might need to change your approach.
Hmm.
But you should always look at, all of them. So if SEO is too hard, which I did SEO for clients a long time ago, and it was hard to rank then, a bit hard to rank then. Now I'm guessing it'll be very hard. Then you look at faster sources, like you might do Google ads, right? But the cost per click on those can be high. If they can make you money, it's fine. But that's one option. But that's based on search volume. So if no one's trying to search for it, then you're kind of screwed. And also women buy things usually based on like prompt marketing. Like they get they're scrolling, they see an ad, they might buy. Men buy most things through search marketing. So that's also a insight to keep in mind. But Bram, I think if you can master prompt ads, I think they're called prompt ads. I just made it up, but if you can master that in your business through Facebook ads, YouTube ads, TikTok ads, IG ads, if you can get that to work, then you'll make money. But how you make that work is you need to first get very clear on who it is you're helping, what are you helping them with to achieve, and can you actually help them achieve that? And then once you work out this kind of like narrow vision, then you put that on your ads, and then you just run the ads, and you get people to opt in, to leave their email and number, and then you can ring them up and then see if they're a good fit. And then if they're a good fit, then you can do a real meeting with them on Zoom or in person. and then onboard them as a customer.
I love how you
Look,
described that. And I think the example you gave there of the accountant that targeted e-commerce business owners is excellent. Because you could try to be the accountant to anyone, but you say he specialized, he narrowed down on that one particular type of business,
yeah,
targets those, which Facebook easily can do, and he probably will get a lot of business from that
yeah, exactly right. Exactly
rather
right.
than
Yeah.
try to please everyone. I love that sort of really narrow vision, like as you said. One thing that I also noticed is when we again back in the gym when we were talking about what you were doing, your funnel was super simple. So
Yeah.
back to the example of the coaches, like let's just say that a coach wants to create a funnel. Sometimes people think that they have to build this huge, big, complicated thing. Hard to do, takes a lot of time, a lot of money, a lot of programmers, and so on and so forth. And most of these people, there are very simple, plain people and just want to make it easy. How would you suggest them to go about it to sell basically coaching services on an ongoing basis? What sort of funnel would you advise them to build?
Amazing. Well, Bram, I think this actually applies to everyone because I'm noticing, people who do accounting, coaching, legal services, photography, anyone who sells anything that's a service should have a funnel in place. Now, here's a thing, Bram, that yourself or your clients or those watching this or those in BNI can do. So, say you are an accountant, right? And you want to get more accounting leads and clients. You want to do word of mouth as a background thing, like you do, because you always can get very awesome clients through word of mouth. But to reduce your reliance on other people, the main thing you should all do. This is for everyone who sells anything, even ecom products, like anything, is you want to master a paid advertising system. Now, here's roughly how it works. If you sell like a dog bed, it's more simple. You run an ad to your page, your landing page, which will sell your thing. If you sell a service, let's say you're an accountant wanting to sell accounting to e-com businesses, to doctors, to tradie businesses, right? I'll explain it from the ad, the landing page or funnel, and then
Mhm,
the last step, which is the conversion. Okay.
mhm,
So let's say you're a lawyer. Now, I actually ran these ads for a few clients, and they made money out of these, and they got a lot of leads. So let's say, Bram, you're a lawyer, right? And let's say you specialize. What type of law, Bram, do you think?
Let's just go with commercial law.
All right, so let's do contract law or contract disputes. There's a lot of them, right?
Mhm,
So let's say you're a lawyer, and this, Bram, applies to any business, but we'll just say you're a lawyer for now. Let's say I'm a lawyer. So I'm a lawyer. I sell services to make contracts, to help you with a contract dispute, to sue people, or whatever. There's already three separate services there. There's making of contracts, contract disputes, and litigation.
mhm.
So one service, that's three separate things. So you actually want to narrow it down to
One.
a particular thing, yet one. And then you can make like many ads, but you want to know what you're writing about. So let's say a contract dispute. So what you would do, right, in your ad, and this is a very high level format, is you would say, have you been treated unfairly in a contract? Our lawyers at Bram LeGroux Legal will help you get what's yours. And then you might do like a few dot points like, has a person broken their part of the deal? Have you entered into an unfair contract? Like you mentioned, trigger words that the person watching in that spot would go, yes, that's for me. And you might use like an image of like people shaking their hands and like a red arrow or like these things to kind of draw what it is. Now, the point of the ad is to get them to actually tap on the ad to start the process. So that the point of the ad is like bait. It's like candy. Come
Mhm.
into our funnel. Okay. Now, once the person on Facebook or wherever taps on and Facebook's a really good place. Facebook, Instagram, these are very good platforms because everyone uses it. Once a person taps on the ad, you have to make a good landing page. Now, I've tried lead forms. Maybe you know them. It's
Yep.
like they tap the ad and it's like pre-filled on Facebook, name, email, and number. You get a lot of leads that way, but they're not very good leads. Most of them don't answer the phone. You ring them up. They go, "Who is this?" They go, "No, I didn't inquire." So really, like you might get a lot of cheap leads, but it's not very effective. There is a way you can make it work, which I'm happy to explain to you after this part. But generally, you want to avoid lead form ads, and in Facebook Ads Manager, you can see that, or write down avoid lead form ads mostly. So what you do want to do is on your business, on your website, you actually want to make a landing page. Now, a landing page is a separate page of your homepage that is designed to do something.
Hmm.
You want to make a special page on your website that you put towards this unfair contract dispute ad. Now, when the person who finds your ad goes onto your landing page, the landing page should be like title. Have you been screwed over like in a contract?
But kind of
And
the
then
same message in a way. It should be the mirror in a way.
exactly right. Because when the lead or taps on the ad and goes on your landing page, they must think, all right, I'm still in the right place, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you actually want to do like a video, like a 5 minute video, which kind of rehashes their pain point, which is like you've lost money over a bad contract deal, you've entered an unfair contract. We can help you make your money back. We can help you be or fine again. And you might mention a bit about your history, like how many clients you've helped, maybe a result of a case that occurred, how much money your client got in that thing. And then you say, book a call down below to speak with me and my team. And you want to make it a free call. Don't start charging money unless you have so many leads and you need to like really filter. Offer people a 15 to 30-minute free consultation to see if they can add value, if they can get value from what you're offering, or if you can help them. And then when they actually book a call, try to book a time, it asks for their name, their email number, their phone number, what their issue is, and then they can actually make a time to speak to you. So basically, you're booking appointments 24/7 without having to rely on a referral or word of mouth. It's happening in the background.
So it gives you back control. That's what I'm hearing. It's consistent. You create demand in the marketplace by sponsoring ads, and it's only a three-step process. That's all it is. It's simple.
Exactly. Well, actually, there's still the last part, which is the conversion, which you are a master at in sales. But Bram, like that's the high level, right? The maths behind it is you want to sell something, for example, that can actually make you money for like a price that can actually make you money. Because if you spend, let's say you spend $100 or $200 to get an appointment, and let's say you get 10 appointments booked, you spend $1,000. Maybe like two of them are bad leads, like maybe they inquired by accident, maybe it's like a random scammer.
Mhm.
So there's 8 people. Out of those 8, maybe 4 will only rock up. And out of those 4 you speak to, maybe if you're lucky and good, maybe 1 will join or actually pay you to, join your accounting services or to your legal work. So if you spent $1,000 to get a customer and you're charging $100 for your service, then obviously you're losing $900 to get a customer. So that's obviously not going to work. So you want to have a service that, accountants. I pay my accountants a fair bit actually. I have a few accountants. Let's say all up, I pay, let's say for example, or 60,000 a year for my accountants. If you can charge that much, then this approach makes total sense. It's like a no-brainer. So you want to make sure you charge enough so you can make a profit. And let's say you spend $1,000, you make 2,000 back. That's not bad. that's when you can start to go, okay, what if I spend 2,000 a week, 5,000 a week? That's when you can start to get some scale. And then, if you're an accountant, you could offer them loan services, mortgage broking, things you can offer. If you're a lawyer, you can offer them a will, or to make them a trust or whatever. Like, you have them in your database, and that's really an important thing for a business. You need people in your database.
But what I'm hearing you saying, it's not just the first sale or the first transaction you do. It's like how you kind of expand your offering to the same person that you paid already good money for, and just make sure that you can add more value to them and charge for it too.
Exactly right. Exactly right. And but Bram, the most important thing is you need to be a very good business. And I've seen a lot of people. Bram, I've used so many accounting firms. Every one of them, except the ones I'm using now, have been bad in the end. Lawyers, most of them have been bad because you're working with people, and people are human beings who make mistakes. So what you want to do in your business is make sure you have a really good reputation. So don't sell anything that isn't good. Make sure you actually help your clients with their accounting, their legal. Like, imagine being a lawyer making your client a contract, and the contract has holes in it, which get used against you. Happened to me. So you don't want to do a bad service, because then you won't scale very much and you get bad reviews, and no one wants bad reviews. Guard your reputation, especially your business reputation, like your life depends on it, because it does.
Yeah, and I love how you've been able to do that with your six-figure dropshipping course, where you say over 7,500 people have done it, and we have a 4.9 star rating out of five, which is kudos to that. So you're measuring it, you're holding yourself accountable for it, and you're making yourself publicly visible for it.
Yes, yes, and actually, our ratings, Bram, are the best in Australia. If you look at other ratings of 5-star reviews, virtually none of them have anyone making any money. They say, just signed up, this is great, this is amazing, but no one's made any money. If you look at our 5-star reviews, 80% of them are people who are making money, and ours are all verified. So when a customer, and this is advice for anyone who's wanting to buy a service or things, and it's hard to find these great organizations, but you really want to look at everyone's reviews and get strong reviews, and if you help the client do well, get them to write you a review, get them to make you a video and share that, use that to
Hmm.
attract people.
I fully relate to that, Reza, because I've seen, especially with the digital marketing agencies that are there, I've seen so many people trying to be everything for everyone. They do an SEO, they do an websites, they do chat, converse over chat or sell over chat. They do then your Facebook ads. They try to be everything. I'm thinking like, but hang on, what is your superpower? What are you
Yeah.
really, really good at better than anyone else? And if they can't answer that question specifically, if they keep going back to the airy fairy wishy-washy, I can tell they're not the right people to deal with. So I burned my money on the wrong people myself. So I absolutely resonate with what you said. We're just going to have to wrap it up. But hey, this has been fascinating, Reza. We're going to hang up for now. But hey, let's just schedule another time, because I'm
Okay.
sure the readers would want to hear more of you. Thank you
Yeah.
so much for joining in today.
That's
Have a
fine.
great time back in Malaysia, and we'll catch you again
Thank you.
soon.
Merci beaucoup.
Merci beaucoup. Au
Au
revoir.
revoir.